Our first achiever, Lacy Durham, is a senior manager at Deloitte Tax LLP. She participated in the Upward Bound program at Grambling State University. Please welcome Lacy.
Thank you all so much. I'm truly honored. In fact, I'm more humbled than my words can ever express, and I'm truly blessed to join the prestigious ranks of Trio Achievers. Each of you inspire me to continue to strive for excellence. So let me start off by telling you a secret. I've always dreamed big. My mother gave me free rein to do so. I knew I was destined to achieve even my wildest dreams. I just never knew that Trio would help me turn those dreams into reality. In many aspects, I don't think that my story is any different from your average kid from the Deep South. You see, I'm actually the product of two Trio students that graduated from Upward Bound. Somehow, they found each other at Grambling State University, fell in love, got married at the ripe age of 23, and to that union, 2 girls were born, with me being the oldest. Life was pretty good. In fact, we were often labeled as a picture-perfect family. My mother was an educator, specializing in teaching students with physical and learning disabilities. She, being the astute educator, really encouraged me to run wild with my imagination and dream big, so I did. I knew in elementary school that I was going to be a lawyer. Why? Because Claire Huxtable, that's why. I wanted to be a quick-witted, sharp-dressing, stylish sister of an attorney. In fact, I would tell anyone who would listen to me that I was going to be a big-time lawyer. My father was in the oil industry working at a Fortune 500 company. He made sure that we were protected and provided for at every turn. But then tragedy struck. I remember being pulled away from my class and taken to my aunt's house and somehow miraculously being given every toy to play with. Now, I knew something was wrong because my cousins didn't let us play with their toys. To my surprise, I learned that my mother was tragically killed in a car accident, doing what she loved to do, going to get supplies for her students so she can think of new and innovative ways to teach them. She passed away right outside of my other aunt's house. You see, my mother taught in my father's hometown, the same place that we went to school. Just like that, in the blink of an eye, my life instantly changed. Once a picture-perfect, familiar situation quickly changed. We were labeled before she was even buried. There were family members clamoring after us. Who would take the girls? What would they do? Everything that was negative at the time could and was placed on me at the ripe age of 11 years old. I can remember my grief-stricken father telling me soon thereafter that the only thing that he wanted me to do was to fulfill my mother's wishes and get a good education and be somebody. As a child, I had no idea of knowing what that meant, but I knew my father, who was the disciplinarian of the family, meant business, and there was no way that I was going to get sideways with him. Luckily, my father was not a man of chance. He knew right away that he needed assistance to help raise my younger sister and I. We were now thrust into an environment in which every socioeconomic statistic was pushed upon us, and it was all negative. It was culturally the norm in the rural area of Louisiana to stereotype people. Specifically, African Americans were known to be products of broken homes, teen mothers, thugs, lazy, uneducated, incapable of holding a job, yet alone having a professional career. With the absence of one income from my mother, we were now labeled as poor, disadvantaged, I could go on with the list of labels. Society will have you labeled as anything but a success where I come from. However, my father refused to let me be a statistic. He knew he didn't want those labels for us. And so he did what any smart father would do. He specifically sought out opportunities for educational advancement, leadership development, and mentorship. He knew that he needed the support of a village to raise girls to be successful women. That village, for me, was Project Upward Bound at Grambling State University, the place where everybody is somebody. In many ways, Upward Bound became my surrogate mother. The staff, tutors, and mentors stepped up in ways that I can never fully explain. The tutoring assistants assessing me with developmental needs, helping me hone my strengths, reviewing my college admission essays, helping me navigate applications, providing their own personal money for me to apply to all of those schools that I wanted to go to. That, career counseling, and much, much more. And how can I forget the 6 to 8 weeks on campus and the bridge to my first collegial courses? Not only did they help me academically, it was a personal endeavor as well. As you can imagine, my father knew nothing about being a girl. So he too called on them in the personal area. It was Upward Bound staff like Shirley Jackson and Donna Epps that took me shopping for my first school dance, did my hair for prom, personally donated money so I can take educational trips to study abroad. In fact, it was a staff member that stepped in to be my mother's substitute for my cotillion. I could go on and on about very specific examples of how Upward Bound has helped me. The experience gave me unbridled confidence to do anything that I wanted to do. I became fearless. I was confident. I was positive that I could achieve anything, even my wildest dreams. You see, TRIO works. When you are labeled as a child, the effects of that can be stifling, even crippling, but TRIO changed that for me. Project Upward Bound gave me the tools to overcome all of those labels, numerous barriers, and expose me to limitless opportunities. TRIO for me was a success, and today that fire is still burning bright. Do you want to know what success looks like? I'll tell you. It looks like a little black girl from small town Louisiana that was destined to be great against all of society's labels. It looks like a woman with a high school diploma, a bachelor's of business administration with honors, a bachelor's in finance with honors, an MBA with honors. Success looks like a woman with a Juris Doctorate that graduated in the top 10% of her law school class. It looks like a woman that completed a rigorous master's in tax law. That's right, law school was so nice I did it twice. Success looks like a first-generation tax attorney licensed in 2 states, determined to use her knowledge to transform lives. It looks like someone that specializes in ERISA, an area of law that only fewer than 3% of lawyers ever endeavor. It looks like a professional that's done work in every segment of the workforce, serving local, state, and federal government, public and private sector, and nonprofit. It looks like a senior manager at the world's largest professional service firm that is vying to be an underrepresented minority partner one day. It looks like the first of many, a trailblazer, someone who dares to do what others won't. It looks like the former chair of the American Bar Association Young Lawyers Division, the largest trade organization in the world for young lawyers, who represented the voice of 180,000 young lawyers in the U.S. and served as an international ambassador. Success looks like a recognized philanthropic leader that is young, black, and giving back. Success looks like someone who's achieved numerous 40 under 40 accolades, been recognized as a top minority in Texas law, and received the highest awards of young professionals in many areas, including financial services, accounting, and law. Success looks like a leader that has produced and contributed to award-winning tools and lasting programs that advance diverse students, and someone who's a diversity and inclusion leader. You see, success looks like someone that has participated in numerous leadership programs, served on the biggest and brightest boards, is a tutor and mentor. Success is someone who otherwise gives voice to those who have no voice. It looks like a champion for women and girls. Success looks like an advocate, an activist, and an ally. Success looks like me, and I am Trio.
Let me give this to you. I don't know where the photographer is.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it later.
Thank you so much.